Hello everyone and welcome. So since I am not going to be live today because we have the Merry Makers Holiday Summit going on, and I do not want to take away from any of the designers that are designing in that today, I thought I would just drop a pre-recorded tutorial for you guys. Today we're going to do a elegant centerpiece. This will be using this round compote bowl. So a lot of times I will make the really big centerpieces in the dough bowls. Today we're going to do something still going to be, a good size, but it'll be a little bit on the smaller side. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to use is my staple greenery, which is this pine. And normally I cut it up and I'll place them where I want them. But I think we're going to go ahead and for this one, we're just going to use the whole stem just like it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my floral pins. So let me go ahead and get some of them out. We're just going to pin that in there. Okay, so I'm just going to pin that. This has got spray foam on the inside of this container. If you don't like the spray foam, you can just use your floral foam. I just typically prefer to go ahead and spray my containers with the spray foam. Okay, I'm going to move this pin up just a little bit so it gets more into that foam. There we go. Okay, let's get another one. And I may need to, let me move this set of pine cones out. Give this a bend so that kind of goes down my container a little bit. I'm going to cut it just a little bit more. See if I can do it with my hands. This stem is very, very thick. I may have to get out my, let me get out my heavy duty cutter. I don't have a whole lot of hand strength, y'all. So we'll break out the big guns. All right, let's try this again. I think I may want this piece. Let's see. Yeah, all right, just like that. So if you don't want to keep them together, of course, you can just cut them up, place them where you want them. That's typically what I do, but when I can work smarter and not harder than I do, and for this arrangement, it works. Okay, so we're going to add more, but for now, let's move on to our next greenery. So I'm using this noble, I think it's a noble fir is what they call it. We're going to add some of this in here and give us a different greenery texture. And I like this one. It's got a couple different styles of greenery in here. So the branches are not all the same. I'm going to get that one up there. I'm going to drape some of these. Just going down by my pine here. Now this piece is two pieces together. I'm going to go ahead and just stick it right there. put another one by my pine. Okay, I'm just layering them by my pine there. Sometimes I will go in between. In this case, I'm putting it closer to the pine so that they're kind of blended a little bit, because we got other things we're going to add in here. So I'm going close to that pine. So after we get a little bit of our base done, we are going to add the star of our show, which is going to be a beautiful burgundy beaded magnolia. Y'all, this is going to be a luxe design. I tend to design, my design style is a little bit more on the elegant versus like the whimsical, but on occasion, you know, we'll break out a whimsical design in here. But I'm really liking the burgundy this year. So pretty. Okay, I'm just working my way around. All the way around with some of this. And I'm just trying to mix up, like I said, some of these pieces they're different. So I'm just mixing the different pieces in, so that they're not all the same right next to each other. I'm gonna leave the pine cones there for as long as I can, and if we have to take them out, we will. You know, I take my pine cones out a lot. It's not that I don't like the pine cones, it's just sometimes they're in the way with what we're trying to do there. One more piece to kind of break up these two, and I almost need a pine piece right here, so let me grab one. I need one more little piece of pine. And I just noticed I have some scrap greenery over here on my table. I should have used some of that in here. These type of designs are good when you're breaking up all these little pieces, to use some of your scrap greenery in here, which we might still get a few pieces added. We'll see. We got more stuff to go. Okay, this one I'm going to not drape it down quite as far. I'm putting it in here, but I'm kind of putting it at an angle, so it naturally kind of wants to fall, but it's not draped as far down as this one. And let's go on this side and do the same thing. So it's filling in nicely, y'all. Filling in nicely. Okay, I have one more piece, but I'm going to save it along with the rest of that pine while we work some more on getting some of our other things added. Okay, so the star of our show, let's get that added. This guy here, now he is not cheap. He is spendy, but he is gorgeous. So, we have this beautiful beaded velvet magnolia stem. So, I'm going to try to just get away with one, because I have another gorgeous magnolia piece we're going to add in here. And because they're so pricey, we're going to try to limit ourselves a little bit. So before I get that one, I think I want to get my taller one added first. So I have this mini magnolia spray that is beaded. So very, very similar, but it is taller. And so I kind of want to get our taller piece added first. Now you can break these up. You could cut it up. If you don't want to keep it tall like this, you could pull this stem off, which we may do. We'll see. If it's too tall, then I may we may cut it off, which it kind of is. So I don't want it quite that tall. So I'm going to cut it right here. I want a little height on it, but that was a little much. There, that's a little bit better. Okay, I know I don't need my stem this long for this magnolia, so let me cut it down. We're going to get that guy added right there. I'm going to add lots of glue, because it's heavy. This magnolia is heavy. It's got a hard plastic on a couple of the leaves that's coated, so it's a heavy flower. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that, y'all. Okay, now we have this piece. So we can add it. Let me see where I want to add it. Because this is the back. You could break it up even more if you wanted, which I may do. Let's see. I'm going to put one piece right there, kind of to the side. Let me see where I want this one. I think right here. Okay, so I just tucked it right there, a little higher. Isn't this gorgeous already? Love it. All right. So I brought some ribbon, but I don't know if I want to add it. So we have this beautiful burgundy fair silk. Has a little gold trim on it. And so I want to see if I want to add just a tiny bow. Just a tiny bow. I think I will. Just 2 loops. Simple, simple. Make sure my loops are about the same size. I'm just going to get a little bit of my binding wire here. Okay, now let's get it wrapped on our pick. All right, we'll hit it with the glue in just a second. Let me get it in here where I want it. Okay, we'll cut the tails down and trim it up after that glue dries. But isn't that pretty? All right, let's put this aside. I did bring another floral in here, or I brought another floral for this design. We'll see if we're going to add it in here. So I have these pretty snowy peonies that I thought we might add, although it's looking very beautiful without them. I have one actually, let me grab the cut up one. This way I can play with it a minute before I cut up another one so I can see if I really want it in here. That is quite lovely. So we are gonna leave it. All right, so let me cut this leaf. I don't like the leaves on these. I want the height, I like the height on that little bud. Trying to find the foam here. There we go. Wanted to make sure we had good contact with that foam. Make sure it's not gonna go anywhere. But if you don't like the peony in here, you could totally just leave them out. It could be just solid burgundy with the green. Beautiful. Either way, you really can't go wrong. There's so many options at Christmas time. So many wonderful color combinations that you can do. Okay, so I just tucked that one right there. Let's get another one because I don't want just one. We might actually do just two today. Y'all, that would be shocking. I don't normally work just with twos, but sometimes it works. There's really no rule. It's just how's the design gonna take you? So we will see. All right, so I'm gonna put this other large head on this side, kind of by that bud. And y'all, I may have to move the pine cones because they're gonna be in the way. Sorry, pine cones. We'll save you for something else. All right. Let me put that with a little bit more glue because I kind of paused when I was getting those pine cones out. Isn't that pretty, y'all? All right, let's add our little bud here. I think I'm gonna put him kind of right there. So let me get a pick. Turning out pretty, y'all. Okay. Now, you know we gotta have some berries in here. So I bought two different berries. I have this green berry, which is really pretty, or we have our chunky glittery berries, which are like my favorite this year. I love these. But I think for this one, we're going to go in with just a couple of these. Not too many. Oops. Sometimes when you pick, because their stem is too thin, you got it too thin, just bend your stem. So that way you have a chunkier piece to go into your pick machine. Okay. If you don't like the berries, just leave them out. Not everybody is probably as obsessed with the berries as I am. I love having the berries in my arrangements. Drop a berry down in between our tails here. And we actually, looks like we need another little piece of greenery right in between our tails. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one. We may need another piece of pine too. I did bring some juniper, so we might add some of that. But now we have the berries kind of flowing down a little bit. And I see a berry that just has a little bit, you know how sometimes the foam shows? So I'm just going to kind of turn it. You cannot, maybe let me just clip it out. Sometimes you can just clip those out. The little bad berries. That way your customer isn't seeing foam. That's the only bad thing with the foam berries. Sometimes they have issues. I'm going to go in the back and get some added and kind of give them a little bit of a drop. I don't want too many, so I think I'm just going to do maybe one more. Kind of want a taller one. So kind of right back behind our bud back here is where I want that one. Oh, get another glue stick. There we go. So pretty. All right, let's add some of our juniper now. So that's enough of the berries. And if you don't want to add a third greenery, you can just add more of the pine. But I want to get a little bit of this juniper in here. I love this juniper bush. It's another favorite. I have lots of favorites this season, y'all, but this one is one of my favorites. It looks so realistic. Like, it looks just like little juniper berries. And like a little juniper bush, so, or tree, whatever. Branches. You know what I'm trying to say. All right, so I'm gonna get this cut up. All right. And if you didn't, if you did decide to use the juniper because it has the little berries, you could skip the green berries if you want and just do your juniper berries. But I like all the things, so we're gonna put these in here too. Okay, I'm gonna get a couple pieces and just put them on a pick. And I'm gonna go right in here, right there in the center of our bow. So I just went right here. And we'll add that berry piece under here. Love that. Okay, let's get a couple more pieces. We're just going to walk our way around the arrangement and just kind of look for little holes, places where we need a little filler, kind of break up that other greenery. I've got a spot right here, so I think there might be a good spot for another berry piece right there. Okay, a couple more pieces. I put like about 3 together on my pick machine. If you don't have a pick machine, you could just wrap them on a wooden pick. Pick machine is just more convenient, but it can be done without it. Okay, right here underneath our peony, I'm going to get another one. We may not use all of it, but I want another berry piece because I want to drop that berry piece right under that peony. And I may actually drop a couple because we have kind of a little bit of a void there. We might need another piece of pine. Let me get a small piece of pine. There we go. More better, more better. Okay, I'm going to put a piece right here. Back to the juniper. I think I'm going to add a little chunkier piece there. Oh man, did I just cut my shirt? Got a little carried away with my clippers. Oh, I need to put a pick on that one. Thought I could get away with the stem, but I can't. Okay, so I have a little chunkier section right there, kind of filled that in nicely. I think we're going to put a piece right in here because we want to bring some of the juniper into our arrangement, not just on the bottom of our arrangement. Love that. Okay, what do we got left? Let's get a couple more pieces. I think I'm going to do another berry piece. Those are my favorite part on this bush. And I'm giving it a good bend. Make that greenery work for you. Put it in the direction that you want it to go. I'm going to lift and separate my pines here. If I can get it into that foam. And then just kind of lay that back. On top of it. Okay. Let's get a couple more pieces. may end up using most of this second bush. I'm gonna go right next to my bow. We have the one piece, but I want to go up a little higher. It's just kind of growing all through that bow. Y'all see that? Isn't this turning out gorgeous? I love it. Let's see what else we need. We got a couple more pieces of juniper. You know, I hate to waste my greenery. So let's see if we can add any more without being, you know, overly obnoxious with it. Put one in there. Sometimes you have to walk away, but I really try not to let my greenery go away. So I'm going to give this pine a bend up. So I'm giving my pine a bend up so that it kind of helps support that tail and gives it a nice flow. I'm going to go ahead and fold my tails up, my ends up for me. Let me just see something real quick. I want to see if I want to roll and curl our tails or if we want to just, that's pretty. Okay, so maybe I changed my mind. Maybe we want to curl our tails. I can still drape that over that pine, just got a little curl on it now. I think we need something right under here. So let's see if we can get a piece of this juniper in here. We added one little piece, but we need, I think, a little bit more. Let me pick it up for a second so I can make sure it's getting in that foam. So this is beautiful all the way around. So no matter where you place it, it is pretty. So this is definitely a 360. Obviously this guy is our larger element, but we brought in more of the magnolias over here with our minis and our bow. So either side, no matter how they place it, whichever way they like, it's beautiful all the way around. Okay, y'all. I think we're done. Let me give it a twirl for you guys. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'll get some pictures and get this video up for you guys. If you are new either to my channel or to my page, I would love to have you subscribe, follow, like, all the things. Show me some love. That helps me keep going with these videos. And I try to do them every week. We normally go live on Wednesdays, but today we have the event going on, so we're just doing this recorded one. And I will have a new YouTube tutorial dropped every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central, so y'all go check it out. Until next time, bye y'all.